the optical market's been kind of flat for the last 2 years. So it hasn't really shown a lot of growth, a lot of decline. And what's happening is because we keep seeing the legacy equipment sales declining. And so going forward, next 5 years, I expect that trend to continue. So we're expecting legacy Sonnet, SDH type equipment to decline at a rate about 30% a year on average. However, I do think the optical market will show some small single-digit percentage growth rate, but that's going to be driven more from WDM. We're going to see some great growth in WDM, and particularly optical packet transport. And that's really where you use WDM equipment, but you actually put in like a cross-connect in it, like an OTN switch. And there's a lot of growth there. It's been growing really strong for the past few years. I expect that to grow at maybe a 14% type CAGR over the next 5 years. So a lot of good growth there. When it comes to line speeds, we'll continue to move to higher speeds. 40 gig is declining while 100 gig is growing. I expect that to be the case going forward. We're going to see 100 gig really grow all the way through, say, 2018. However, we are seeing 200 gig appear. That started to ship in 2014, late 2014. We're just going to see more in 2015, of course. I think maybe at the end of 2015, so end of this year, we'll really start seeing the volume ramp on the 200 gig. And that's really more a question of just getting the cost point right, getting more vendors to sell the 200 gig line cards, and then just that adoption rate. And so that'll start to ramp up late 2015, really grow strong into the remaining 5-year forecast time period. Now, I think SDN is kind of an interesting thing. So carrier SDN, it doesn't directly affect the optical market in the sense that you have to have it in an optical equipment, but it indirectly affects it. And what I mean by that is if you want to control the network, you need something to execute on it. So while SDN controllers can give commands, the optical equipment actually helps to deliver on those commands, so to actually materialize those things that the operators want to change in the network. The advantage of SDN is, of course, that operators are able to sort of build and tear down their services on that network faster than it's taking right now, where it could be anywhere from a month to 2 months to do it. They'd like to be able to do it within a day or less, and that's the objectives. And that, I think, will affect the optical market in the sense that you'll need the right type of optical equipment to deliver on that. I could imagine more switching points being needed. So whether it's OTN switches or the optical packet transport systems that have switches in it, better ROADMs, the CDC, colorless, directionless, contentionless type ROADMs, adaptable WDM line cards, I think is going to be key. So being able to say, this line card can operate at 50 gigabits or 100 gigabits or 200 gigabits. I think that's also a key technology. So SDN, I think indirectly has a lot of influence on what we're going to see on the optical market going forward.